I get some funny requests in this business. This guy told me, oh, can you replace these capacitors for me? This is a motherboard for a RAID system, and he suspects that these capacitors are bad. I don't think so, because it's usually the ceramic capacitors that go bad. And you see with the multimeter, we have a short right here on this entire circuit. It could literally be anything on here. So let's inject some power. Contact him here, and he's still being hard-headed, and he still wants those things replaced. So I'm gonna replace them anyways. The customer is always right? Nah, but we'll see what happens. The best way to remove and install these capacitors, right? To get yourself one of these cheap desoldering irons. All it does is vacuum the solder once it reaches a high enough temperature. And it also helps to preheat the board. Alright, so we removed them over here, and we cleaned up the area. Let's put on the new one. So I have them on here. All I gotta do is solder and clip these ends. Alright, these are soldered. Now let's snip. And yeah, I was right all along. The short is still there. The short is on the circuit. These other capacitors never go bad. It's usually the ceramics or whatever this one is called, I forgot. The customer also refused diagnostics of the shorted circuit. He just wanted those replaced for whatever reason. So yeah, it's getting put back together and shipped. So at the end of this video, let's go over our types of capacitors here. So this is the aluminum electrolytic capacitor, which is the normal one that we just replaced. Then we have the solid aluminum electrolytic capacitors, which are a little bit better. Then we have the tantalum capacitors that look like this. Then there's also the non-solid tantalum, which is made with sulfur and some others. Then we have the molded case caps, which are also solid tantalum electrolytic capacitors, which are used for AC currents, and this is the one that we were looking at before, the SMD. Then there is the niobium electrolytic capacitors. Those are used in the Microsoft Surfaces. Then we have the double layer electrostatic capacitors that are used in your AC units and big units. Then you have pseudo capacitors that are used in power supplies. Then we go to the non-polar. The ceramic ones are used in power supplies as well, right by the transformer. You usually see these right here a lot by the transformer. And yeah, the list keeps on going here. I don't want to bore you. Yeah, but this one right here exists, paper capacitors. There are capacitors made out of paper. For many, there's also the polyester capacitors and the polypropylene film capacitors.